Your car? Yeah, put your car. I'm blessed. Oh, dang. Lydia is so mad she couldn't make it. But I don't think she made it. Because I didn't think she was going to make it. Because I knew she had work. But did she make it? Don't you see I'm sunny? Yes, she did. It's an awesome feeling. It really is an awesome feeling. It is. It's a blessing. Yes, it is. Yeah, good to see you too. You doing good?
Yeah, doing good.
I know you said that going on. Well, actually, I wasn't even there when I did it because we was home, for work. I just sent my letter on. When I got on my phone, was just like, I don't know. Yeah, what you want to do what you but they was very upset. Oh, I knew. Y'all made my letter. It was called unexpected. They were so upset. But they was that lady. All of y'all business. So basically, what you doing? What you been doing? What was you doing? You working? I mean, you in North Carolina. Are you on Facebook? I'm calling you, so you have a 906 number, and that's me. Enjoy my grandbaby. Oh, good. Tyler pregnant. She having her first baby. Tyler. She having a girl. We get no boys the same. Well, 37, keep on trying. I know I already said hi to you, but I did say hi to you. Somebody else was in the hospital. There too. Oh, something about it. Yeah, probably.
Cousin Marv, DJ Marvin Stank.
How's it going?
Getting old.
Yeah, that's cool. What's your name again? BJ. BJ. Yeah. I wish it was all right, BJ. Nice seeing you, man. You done got so tall. Way up there. I'm down there. That's a big thing. All right. So how you doing, man?
Look like you spit around on the mile. Was she 18 or 19? 19.
Getting old.
Yo, you get.
I'm about to say, I'm getting old. My mom. Yeah, that's my daughter too. I forgot. She was like, who is there? I was like, that's my mom. I know.
I would have known. I don't even know what they're going to say.
situation. Because we know the truth.
Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Hello. Hi. First of all, let's do first things first. Thank you for coming. Amen. Thank you so much. This is a testament of love right here. I was just asked to make a quick announcement that we will be starting soon. So if you can please find your seat. And if you need something, please let us know. We'll be happy to try to assist you. And thank you for coming. We love you. Thank you.
Hopefully we'll be wearing these hats.
He still gonna introduce himself to research.
We talk to each other.
DJ's trying to oh, of course. DJ's hey.
He said last time he seen you was like this. The week. That's Monday.
That's good. Hi, you have to get in. Supposed to go bike riding next week.
That's all right, too.
Some bike riding.
That's all right. I need to look at
No. I forgot what we were doing. This ain't the same.
Well, now he's
Oh, they right there. Tell you the name of that oil, she get that CBD gonna make me get out of there. She'll tell you she get ready. I'm coming this way,
saw my child. There's a bar out there I know to go to. Shoot over the low. He said low, right? He said low. So I just going to, it's like where I get the crab boil and shrimp. Bread crab house. I don't know if that's close, but I'm not sure. It's like a little, it's like they got crab boil and stuff, they got farm too. I'll be going there, so I figure well, sometimes like if I go to a bar and I just sit out right in my car, they got like a little bench out there, DJ and stuff. Oh yeah, I just sit out there and sit.
how we all have bonded through the years, and through Charles, we are here today. So thank you so much for being faithful. We appreciate your love and understanding. Okay?
Yes, I want to say again, good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here and supporting us in this. All of you know and love Charles, and all of you know what type of person he was, and you know what his beliefs were. And so to honor those beliefs, we're not having a traditional service for him. What we're doing is what he told me he would like, which was a celebration. I am Marisha. And just like you, I had many a debate. I was always wrong. I don't know why. I just didn't listen to him and do what he told me to do. So I'm doing it now in his honor to say this is what he wanted. He wanted us to come together. He wanted us to remember him, to talk about him, to reconnect with each other. I haven't seen some of you in years. And it's not just because of COVID. It's just that our lives have gone in different directions. And through him, and because of him, we are all now back together. And we should try to do that. A lot of people told me today that Charles was calling them every day. Brenda, I don't know when he had time to work, if he was calling them every day. But they said he called every day. And that's probably why my phone call didn't come through until about 10, 11 o'clock at night. So, and then he would say, why didn't you pick up the phone? You know it could be an emergency. I said, well, what do you want? And he was like, I'm just checking on you. I got to go to work tomorrow. Bye. So this is what we have today. We are all coming together to celebrate him, to remember how he touched our lives, the corny and improper jokes that he used to tell. And he didn't spare me those improper jokes either. And I'm like, I don't understand why. I am your sister. So, but to be here and to honor him is what we're here for. And I want to start off by saying that although these last 3 weeks were really, really hard, and we had hope, we held out hope, and he showed us a little promise. But then we understood what he wanted, and he made the final decision on his life, and that was Charles. Y'all know that. Nobody could tell him what to do. He always did his own thing. Even if he told you he was going to do what you do, he would turn around and do his own thing. But Brenda was able to, during this time, share with me videos and pictures of him with his kids and his children and his grandchildren, and it made it easier. It made it easier to see how he touched lives and how he will live on through all of us and through all of them. And I'm so thankful that they made it, that they came here to help us to be here and to share those memories. Now his real heart, his little heart, she couldn't make it today. But we love her, and we're going to continue to love her, and we're going to help her with whatever it takes to make it through this. He loved Brookie, and I can understand she couldn't be here today. Unlike Brenda, Brenda had to support me, so she had to be here today. Yes, and Chris too. But we stand here, although this is his family up front here, all of us, you all are his family too. And so we want to give each one of you an opportunity to express that. So now that I've spoken, I'm going to turn it over to Linda, who may or may not say something. This was, this was his twin. And coming up, I always had to fight him for her. So she can now say something.
I'm not going to speak half as long. That's just not me. But I just wanted to say thank you. I'm glad to see so many people here that I haven't seen in so long. And didn't realize we were sharing Charles with so many people so closely. But I found out today it's been like that. The only thing I want to say is that, of course, I miss him. And the fondest memory I have is him and my dad. They always were together when Charles came in town from Pittsburgh, but they always had their debates. They always had their fuss. And a lot of times Charles came in town, I had to work. So they would be together, and I'll tell him, you know, don't fuss with Dad too much. And he said, that's up to Dad. So I would be at work, and I get a phone call. I say, hello, and Charles would say, Linda, does a deer have 4 toes? I was like, what? He said, does a deer have 4 toes? I said, what are you talking about? Look, I'm at work. I don't have time for this. Don't get mad at me because I can't understand what Dad's saying. And I would say, I don't have time for this. Put Dad on the phone. And so Dad would say, Linda, tell this idiot to watch out for the 4 toes. Right up around the corner here, you know where they catch them, right there. I said, oh my God, Charles, he's talking about the speed camera taking your photos. I was always the interpreter. So that'll never leave my memory of him and my dad. And I love him for so many other things, but just wanted to share that because I don't think a lot of people knew that they would hang together and have these kind of issues. So, this is my granddaughter, Elena, one of my granddaughters. The other's in the pew there, Zayana. Put your hand up, baby. And just saying that Charles loved family, and we all love family. We know we do. We just need to take the time to make sure family knows that.
Yes.
These kind of things bring us closer together, and it should. And we should be flexible and not just come together on occasion. Just anytime. Don't have to be all of us in one room. Just could be 1 or 2. So I'll end it there and let Linda, my daughter, say something if she likes.
I was not planning to speak today. So, I guess thank you everyone for being here today. Appreciate all the love and support as well. Everybody, I hear everybody talking about or sharing their stories of how my uncle helped others, and yes, he was caring. We're all, as a family, are caring and supportive of us, all friends and family. But Uncle just had the biggest heart. Even though he was the one not to be played with or messed with, he was the one you were scared of. Shoot, I was scared of him. But all I remember is that Uncle always used to share the story that I was afraid of everything. And I think that he shared that because Uncle was my protector. And anything I was afraid of, he was like, go on, get out there. He was like, don't be afraid. So whatever I was afraid of, I was kicking, I was screaming, but he was taking me along with him. And for that, he made me the brave person that I am today. And I thank him for that, for make me face those fears. So I could continue to face my fears that I have today. And I just want to say, Uncle, it's hard for me to look at him here. Thank you, I love you. And I'm so happy for all the things that you have done for me. And I guess that's all I gotta say.
Hi family, I'm Shavette. Hi, good to see everyone here. It's just a wonderful, wonderful tribute to the love and unity that you had fostered with my brother. And although I was considered the baby, him and I always had times when we butted heads, as some of you may know. But through it all, it was all through love. And you know, sometimes love hurts, and you know, and sometimes love feels good. But the thing about love is it's true. True love is true. And you know, that's something that I always will remember about him. He would say, he was like, you know I'm your brother and you know I'm still crazy. I was like, okay, that's fine. I said, you know, I appreciate everything you do for me. One thing that stood out in my mind is when I went to CCAC in Pittsburgh, and I was in an English class, and the teacher had us write a paper on a book that we was reading and asked us to give our interpretation of it. Well, the teacher, when I came back, and she gave me a poor grade on it in the classroom, and I came to her and asked her, why did I get such a bad grade? She was like, well, this has nothing to do with the book that we're studying. And so then I said, it's my interpretation of how I saw it and from my experiences growing up. And so then she was like, well, I guess that would be your interpretation because you fell through the cracks. Ooh. So I didn't want to make any ruckus. I was really devastated. Took my seat and sat down. When I got home, Charles was like, what's wrong with you? And so I proceeded to tell him what happened. And he said, she don't know your story. So how would she know?
Good God.
He said, do you want me to go up there? And so he was like, you go back up there, you go talk to the dean, tell him what happened. That's what I did. And so what happened, I had a meeting with the dean and the instructor, and she was like, I'm sorry for what I said. So the dean was like, no, you need to say more than that. And I said, no. I said, she don't need to say anything else. I said, but to avoid a lawsuit, I said, what I would like is to have attach a bridge from one building to the next to help the people in the wheelchair get from one building to the next instead of going out in the inclement weather. He was like, you got it. He said it might not be for another 4 years. And I was like, that's fine as long as it get done. But what he did do is he did put up tents from one building to the next to cover so the people in the wheelchair can go from one building to the next. So of course my brother was like, I would have went with the lawsuit. That's you. And I was like, thank you. But if it wasn't for him giving me the courage to step up and speak for myself, something that was so wrong, you know, I would have just hid and just not say anything, and because he gave me the courage to speak up, a lot of people benefit from it. So thank you, brother. Yes. That's a shell of my brother. That's not my brother. Right. There you go. God, are essence of my brother. So thank you.
Oh boy. Say your name. I'm Nikki. For those who know me and those who don't really know me that well, my family, everything to me.
Okay. Take your time.
And being loyal and looking out for each other. And that came from my uncle. I'm a little girl. He would always tell me, you gotta do what you gotta do for the family. And when it came to Chris and Lindy, he used to make me babysit. And he wouldn't pay me. Because he said it was my job to look after them, because we stayed. I owe a lot to my uncle, my career, my love for fast cars, my style. Because when we out in the world, we gotta step right, okay? Oh boy, and that brings me back to being little, and then I'll wrap it up. I used to look up to Charles from very, very little, and I remember Charles would come upstairs and he'd be dressed, and I'm like, where you going? Out in the world. Yeah. Out in the world. So, right? So, you know, as a little person, you know, if you ask me, where's Uncle? Out in the world! Out in the world. And I be out here running too, but I'm slow down and take better care of myself. I know that's what he would want. And I'm going to always be here for my family. I love y'all all for being here. We all family.
Nothing? You want to wipe your wine? I know it was your whole heart. I know that. Where is he? Well, we're going to let Chris speak, followed by Brooklyn, who can really have some good stories.
I appreciate everybody coming out today. Unfortunately, it's under the circumstances, but like my cousin and my family were saying, we all are all family. I appreciate every single last one of y'all coming out here. I'm just going to share a quick story about my father. And he always wanted me to be strong and fight through stuff. So as I remember when we left D Street, we moved to Oxon Hill, Maryland. And me being a big little boy, they wanted me to fight. Just fight the little kids in the neighborhood. So it was just one boy named Dominique. And Dominique was beating everybody up. So I was a little afraid of him, so they made me fight this boy named Butch first. I fought Butch. I beat Butch up, but I just kind of used my weight. So when it got time to fight Dominique, I have never fought anybody like this before. He was kicking, scratching, all that stuff. I come back in the house crying. My dad, what you crying for, boy? Dominique beat me up. He said, he beat you up? What'd he do? He said, he was kicking and scratching and biting. He said, I ain't gonna cuss for the kids. You do it back to him. That's what he said. So the next time I saw Dominique, I did that. And me and Dominique became best friends after that. Now, moving on to Pittsburgh, I'll never forget, we lived on the south side. I was used to the south side. Friends, you know, meeting people in the neighborhood and stuff like that. We go to the north side to go play basketball one day. Ain't never been to this court. Y'all know my dad, he was a baller, he liked to hoop. We get out there, a few little younger dudes out there, they like about, at this time I'm probably like 12, and they're about 16 or so. And they're shooting, and the dude says to my dad, get your old butt off the court. And my dad said, who you talking to? He said, you, old man. He said, Chris, whoop his. At the time, I'm scared. I walk over to the boy and say, what you say to my dad? And my dad's just in the back, Chris, whoop his. I don't do it. My dad said, come on, Chris. We get in the car, we leave. We ride home. You embarrassed me out there. You were supposed to do as I told you. I said, he ain't say nothing to me. Now let's fast forward to the age of about 15. He can attest for this. At this time, I'm feeling myself. That nickname went from Juicy to Juice. Feeling myself, you could tell me that. So at the time, I'm at the courts, this boy messing with me. My dad would just periodically just pull up to the basketball court. And as he pull up, he see him and this younger dude, you know, dude bigger than me, we tussling. We kind of getting at him. Chris, Dad, Chris, leave him alone. Leave him alone. He said, yeah, I'm glad you came up here because I was just about to whoop his. My dad said, oh yeah, Chris, what? My dad said, that's enough, Chris. Boy, like, you lucky you stopped him. I was just about to. With all that being said, my father has made me very strong and tough, and especially to be the man of this family. He always told me, you know, Chris, you'll be the leader one day. And it's not to say that I'm going to lead them in the direction where they need to go, but I will be there for any help or support that they need to get us through this. And I appreciate them. You know, my mother's there, but I have a mother here, a mother here, a mother here, a sister there, a daughter / goddaughter, a mother there, a sister, and my soon-to-be wife right there. Amen. I'm not going to speak too much. I'm going to let my brother here have it. You know, this the bad brother, but I'm turning him good.
I'd like to thank y'all for coming. It really means a lot. And I'd like to thank all of my family for even allowing me to be in the family, because I didn't meet everybody until I was about 14 years old. And I met Juice at the hoop court. I ain't gonna go too much of what he said, but you know, we was young, hormones was raging at that age or whatever. Some little girls up there. But anyway, my first, I would say, well, not my first, there's so many memories we had together. One of the best ones, though, for surely, though, because he was my official dad, I would say. I never had, you know, I had a sperm donor. So my mom never came to my games or anything. I didn't have a very supportive family. And one day I was on the hoop court at my high school, and I look up, and all of a sudden I see him in the crowd, and I'm like, oh yeah, I gotta play today. And I scored my season high that day. And just so many things that he taught me how to do. He taught me the binary system. I'm not sure if he taught the y'all. He taught me how to drive. Taught me to just keep my head up no matter what was going on. And the main thing I can hear him saying right now, because we talk all the time, like every other day, even after, you know, adversities that I went through with my other brother over here. And the main thing he's just kicking into my head right now is I'm just saying, crying like no little bit. That's all I'm gonna say. I ain't gonna say too much. Thank y'all.
This is a big surprise to me. I'm sorry, y'all. My name is James Barnaby. Everybody calls me Barnaby. And Mr. Charles, he got me out of a lot of trials and tribulations, man. I tell you, like, before I graduated high school, I had my first child. He was right there, just like, you can call me Pop Charles. But he used to always sit me down, keep me together, keep my mind frame together, because the area where we all basically grew up, I'm from Philly, moved to Pittsburgh. He just like kept us away from non-violent stuff as best as he could, you know. But his one speech, like he just said, he would be like, all right, you tell him, you'd be crying, he would be like, all right now, stop whining like a little, go over here in this refrigerator and get yourself a Coke 45. Man, like everybody up here, welcome to Open Arms to me. Like, he was definitely a father to me, so all I can say is thank you everybody for coming, supporting. Thank you family for all the love. I really appreciate it. That's basically what I have to say.
How y'all doing? I'm Trey. Chris is like an older brother to me. And I want to say that your father raised a good son. keep the cycle going, pass it down to your children. We all family now. I'm cousins, whatever. We all family. And I appreciate y'all welcoming me and stuff like that. Like I said, just keep the cycle going, bro. Definitely. He raised a good son. And independent, strong. You know, life is hard right now. You know, I lost 4 of my grandparents all this year, so I know it's rough right now, bro. But stay strong, bro. And I love y'all, because we all family, all right? All right.
Charles loved music. And one of the things that he told me recently, back when we were celebrating Dad in 2018, was that he didn't know that his sister Chevette could sing. So in honor of that, and we're going to let Chevette sing for her brother. See how you do family? This is true family.
I'm gonna slide over here, okay? I'm gonna get over there. Oh, sure? Yeah, you going on.
Thank you so much. Just want to say that I am not a professional singer. I do sing with the choir at church, and this is just something that came from my heart. And you may know this song is "I Need You to Survive" by Hezekiah Walker. So please, if you know this song, help out, okay? I need you, you need me. We're all a part of God's body. Stand with me, agree with me. We're all a part of God's body. It is His will that every need be supplied. You are important to me. I need you to survive. You are important to me. I need you to survive. I need you. You need me. We're all a part of God's body. Stand with me, agree with me. We're all a part of God's body. It is His will that every need be supplied. You are important to me. I need you to survive. I pray for you, you pray for me. I love you, I need you to survive. I won't harm you with words from my mouth. I love you, I need you to survive. It is His will that every need be supplied. You are important to me. I need you to survive. You are important to me. I need you
Sierra read a few cards that we received from our family in support of this. Come on, you two. Y'all can do this. See, that's one of the advantages being the oldest. You can do stuff like that.
Okay, the first card is from my uncle's friend named Buddy. Hey friends and family, Mr. Charles, my oldest friend, a father figure I never had, growing up pushed and taught a young man like me how to become a man, was the voice in my head to do better and keep going no matter what. Was always scared to fail because I felt I had to do right by Charles. He wanted me to. Us, the future, to become better than him. If ever needed, he was right there for anyone. The love was unmatched. If it didn't make money, it didn't make sense. I can go on and on. I'm just thankful I was able to be a part of his life for the guidance. 17 years locked in will never be forgotten for life with me. Love, peace, rest easy, big guy, till we meet again. Oh, we're here for support. Sierra picked the cards, so she gets some praise. Thinking of you and the loss of your father, hoping that the good memories and stories of your dad will bring some comfort as you find your way through this difficult time. With sympathy from the Gatlings, am I saying that right? Gatlings? Okay. Cursive writing. With deepest sympathy. Oh, it's quite a bit in here. Chris, may you have memories for comfort, friends for support, and faith to ease your sadness. Yes. Oh, okay. And there's a scripture in the card. Come to me, all you who labor and are burdened, and I will give you rest. Matthew chapter 11, verse 28. Okay. With each new day, oh sorry, this card was from, I'm sorry, I don't know this name. Is this Laurie? LaVeya. Okay. More cursive writing. Okay. With each new day, may peace find a place in your heart. With deepest sympathy, let the beauty of each new day nourish your soul and bring your peace. And this is from Terry. Is that Terry? Okay, Terry, UFCW. There's a couple of other names on here, but I can't read this cursive writing. Sorry. But I read the card. Okay, is that all? Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
And before we give everyone here an opportunity to come on up and share your memories and your stories with us, Chris had asked a close friend of his to also do a song selection. So is Byron here?
I'm standing over here.
All right.
So it's a lot of love in this room. I can feel it. I don't know everybody here, but I do know a lot of people here, more than I thought I would. But I just want to say, Chris, the relationship I have with you is just a testament to just all your family members, man. Y'all are truly amazing people, and I know that based off of what you guys have been saying, no matter what's going on in this time right now, I think it's just, it's all going to be okay because of the family you have surrounded, man. So I'm just going to sing a song that says, "It is well with my soul." When peace like a river attended my way, when sorrows like sea billows roll, whatever my lot, thou hast taught me to say, it is well, it is well with my soul. And Lord, haste the day when my faith shall be sight, the clouds be rolled back like a scroll, the trump shall resound, and I'll bear it no more. Even so, it's still well with my soul. It is well with my soul, with my soul. It is well with my soul.
Thank you, Byron. Thank you for that. That was very, very well done here. Now, before I offer everyone to come up, I want to give Charles's daughters, Brandy and Toy, an opportunity to also come up and say something. You guys think y'all could do it? Sure? Okay. All right. I know what this means to you guys, and I know how much he loves you and how much he challenged you. Because Brandy and Toy won't come up, I will tell you one thing that I found out that Brandy shared with me was that she was sick at one time, and she was quarantining with Charles and Brenda. And she was to stay quarantined, and after a couple of days of being quarantined, Brenda went to work. And when she called back to check on Brandy, Brandy was out because Charles said quarantine was over and he took her out. He loved them dearly. He talked about them all the time. He was so proud of Aaliyah, he called Lily. He shared all of your prom photos with everyone. So he was very proud of all of you. And all I can say is that we'll be here as a family to help each other through this and to continue to share these memories of him. Now, anybody else would like to come up and speak? Come on, Auntie. I have Charles's Aunt Sharon, who we call Aunt Peanut.
I babysit. They lived on First Street. So then when I had my son Heaven, he used to bully Kevin. Take those fingers out your mouth. shut up, boy, comb your hair. They got them beads up on your head. He didn't give him no mercy. But he, in the end, said, Auntie, I'm just, because my husband was sick. He said, I'm just trying to help him know to grow, to be responsible. And it's so strange. It's really strange. My son is in the hospital. He had a heart attack. Then I found out about him. And I was like, okay, Lord, I know what you're trying to do. You're just trying to strengthen us.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Trying to strengthen us. So we all gonna be here. This is like my family. Like I raised those girls, especially this one. So we're gonna keep them in prayer, and you all keep my son in prayer.
Amen.
Come on. This is my other son, Emil.
How's everybody doing? It's good to see everybody. I know it's an unfortunate time, but I just want to share my fond story with Mr. Charles. So one time I rode to Pittsburgh to go see Miss Brenda, Lily, Mr. Charles. And we were helping move a bunch of stuff that was in the attic and just, just helping them out. So we went outside on the front porch, and I'll never forget Mr. Charles. He sat down, he was in his chair. He was like, Emil. I was like, what's up, Mr. Charles? He was like, let me come in, man. Let me holler at you. I was like, oh man, I must be in trouble or something. He looked at me, he said, I appreciate everything that you do for my son. And I was like, what? And he was like, yeah, I really appreciate you. You're a brother to him. And it really hurt me.
Take your time, bro.
It really hurt. He was a good man. He showed Chris love. And everything that Chris ever went through, he always called his dad. And his dad always used to be like, make sure you're ahead of your business. Chris been doing that. And I always been the one to admire that about the bond that Mr. Charles, he took me in. He made sure we was good. And I'm gonna miss him. A lot of people don't even know me and that man had a good bond. A lot of people don't even know. And I just want to tell him, man, I love him. I'll always be thinking about him. I'm always take care of this man right here. I got him. No matter what.
Y'all got each other.
All day, man.
All right. My cousin LaShawn. I have to let y'all know, we were kind of like the first. Charles, LaShawn, Poppy, Linda, Chevelle, all of us was kind of like the first grandchildren. And because of that, we were more like sisters and brothers than cousins, first cousins.
Yeah, every holiday, especially Easter and Christmas and Thanksgiving, we were always at Grandma's house as a family, a whole family. Lots of people crammed in that house. And so yes, we are more like siblings. I even went to school with them and had to go to the house every weekday. And we just did everything together. So yeah, we are more, they feel more like siblings to me. So in the summertime, I spent time at the house with them during the summer. And Charles was always, well, I called him Dookie. Dookie was always the ringleader of adventure.
Really adventure to get us into trouble.
So one day we were all punished, all of us. We couldn't go outside and play that day. But our baby sister and Uncle Charles went out somewhere, I don't know, a store or whatever, and we weren't supposed to be outside. And instead of taking the normal little sneak 15 minutes or so outside, Dookie decided that instead of going out the front door, we would climb over the balcony. Fortunately, we were only one level from the ground floor. But why couldn't we just go out the front door? So we got sheets and cords, tied them together. And one by one, we're going out off the balcony, climbing down the road. Well, there were lots of us. So as you can imagine, at some point, that rope was going to be a little weak. So when we knew we needed to go back in, we were climbing up the rope in the sheets. And my Aunt Lynette was with us that day, and she was the last one to climb up to get home before our baby sister and Uncle Charles did. As lightweight as she was back then, the ropes were worn. The sheets, I don't know, they were tearing or something, I don't know. When we were all on the balcony trying to get her up, we heard the lock click on the door, the front door. And fear must have spread through all of us at the same time because we let go. And Lynette went sailing back down to the ground on her bottom.
Just like this, like I had the rope, but I was like
And so that's just one of the really funny examples of our fun times at the Davis family. There were so many more as we acted out, Sonny and Cher's song that they sang, and Carol Burnett. And
oh, yes.
We just had so much fun together. We really, really did. And usually it was Charles who was the ringleader of the adventure. So if you let your mind just imagine what we did and went through and the fun that we had, you'd be laughing all night. Thank you all for being here.
Come on up here. Here's one of Charles's true buddies.
I'm putting my glasses on.
He's missing one other part. Where you, brother?
There you are. Get up here.
Come on. You can't have,
we all had nicknames.
Yes, you can't have BB.
And
no, he just was always Irv.
Irv.
He was always.
He had a lot of names I called him. But my brother, big brother here, Irv, he brought Charlie to our house when I was 4 years old. And I said, please hope we don't bring that jerk back here.
That was my best friend. Good jerk, but he was the best.
He antagonized me, but then he treated me so good. He's the best jerk I ever met. I mean, I can go on and on.
Yeah.
Like, he knows where all the bodies are buried.
We'll be here all day.
All day. He taught me how to drive.
Yeah.
He taught me how to be a father. He even taught me how to get custody of my sons. Big loss.
Big loss.
Big loss. We go back. I mean, I could sit here. He put me out of my room when he got his first girlfriend. Yeah, my house.
And this one here encouraged him. Stop laughing. We're not even going to talk about how many times, when Dad had to come rescue Irvin and Charles.
Out of jail.
In high school.
Charlie was smarter than him. They all did the same thing, but he always got caught. He knew when to pull back, But I mean,
he just couldn't beat me in ball.
mean, I'm sitting here looking at this. I remember the Red Sea. I remember the day he got it. I remember the day they crashed his Firebird.
On a short road.
On too many drinks.
On Sunset Lane.
Too many drinks. They didn't tell that part.
One Budweiser. 145 years.
You know, he brought so much joy.
Yeah, he's a loss. It's a loss.
And
for me.
And, you know, I mean, Lisha, Linda, Chris, Sympathy. I mean, it's, you know, Lindy. I mean, I don't know what I'm going to do.
You gonna stay here with us?
Can I help you?
I'm sorry. Hey, Nikki, listen, I'm sorry.
Does this still exist?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Nikki. I'm sorry. I mean, it goes on and on. Poppy, Shawnee. I mean, I can just go on and on and on and on and on and on. I mean, shoot. I'm at a loss for words. He called me 20 minutes before I got that phone call. And I told him, he says, well, I'm going to get off the phone, because I told him I was going to get in the hot tub. He said, yeah, man, go and get in the hot tub. I'm going to take a little more of your time. I got to make some more phone calls. And then the next call I got, what, was about an hour later, maybe? I don't remember who called me. Was it Chris or one? I think it was Chris.
It was Chris.
Yeah, and he was gone just like that. I think he knew. I think he knew, because that was the one time he didn't argue with me. Usually he would call me to get under my skin. He would say things to antagonize and start an argument. But this day he didn't argue. Yeah. He was peaceful. I'm gonna miss my brother.
But you still have all of us.
Yeah,
we still have her.
Still have all of us.
We got it.
We have someone. Come on. Couldn't let this day go without saying something about my best friend. And like BB and them said, he has brought a lot of people together. A lot of people. I heard somebody out in the audience said EBC Consultants. So we had this corny joke, Charles and I. He said, hey T, you got to get a name for yourself. I said, well, every time I call you EBC Consultant, I'm going to be CDC Consultant. So he said, well, what is CDC Consultant? I said, we got to make something up for that. He said, we're going to call that Cutie on Duty on Cutie. And Charles and I go back more than 30 years. I am so blessed to have met him and his family. I remember the days of coming over on D Street to some of the gatherings that they would have there. I'm blessed to meet Brenda. Brenda and I had a corny joke also. I would definitely call Charles every single morning, or he'll call me. And when Brenda come into the room, I'll say, oh, there's my sister wife. And if Charles wasn't listening to Brenda, Brenda knew she had backup, which was me, and vice versa. I'm definitely going to miss him. He have extended his family to me. He have taken in my family. He have put his feet under our table for Thanksgiving. He have even brought my son, Ivan, to Pittsburgh with him. Treated him just like he was his own son. Got mad at him because he wouldn't get up and clean up. Chris can tell you all. Chris, go get that boy up, and he'll call me. He said, T, I'm going to beat this boy like he's my own. But you know, it was some other choice words that he would say. Then he called me back, and he said, you know what? He redeemed himself. He said, my God, that boy cooked me some fried chicken. He can stay the rest of the summer. He said, I don't care if he don't clean up. As long as he get up and cook me some fried chicken, I'm good. And every time he made his way into D.C., whether he was with Brenda or not Brenda, got a chance to meet my mother and everybody, Charles made sure that he came past to see myself
and my mother. And I'm definitely gonna miss him. I'm like BB, I had that phone call. I spoke with Charles that day on the 28th. It would never leave my mind. He never argued with me. And most times I would tell him, well, I'm gonna get off the phone. And he'd say bye. BB, I think, just like you think, I think he knew. Because he kept me on the phone longer than usual. Now we can talk now. We can talk. Charles have talked to me from DC all the way to North Carolina without a break in between. And then say, hey, are you where you need to be at? I say, yes. He said, I just wanted to make sure you got there safely. Every morning, a phone call to him, or he was calling me. And sometimes he'd get up, and I'll tell him, I'll say, it'll be 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. And I'll tell him, wakey, wakey, get that frog out your throat. You retired. Let's talk. And he'll sit on the phone with me every single morning. I'm going to miss those talks. I definitely am. And when I tried to get him off the phone on the 28th, he kept talking and talking, and he was so happy that he had just purchased a new vehicle and was telling me that was going to be his winter sled. And we talked about that and laughed about that. And he will forever be in my heart. I'm going to miss him. I'm going to miss those everyday phone calls with him, everyday talks with him. There has never been a day of us not talking. On the 3rd, which is today, everybody knows Charles loved to do things his way.
Always.
It was his way. Regardless of what you tried to explain to him, he was still going to do it his way. And he's closing out today with a birthday gift to me, his way. My birthday is August the 2nd, but Charles will always call me on August the 3rd and say, baby T, happy birthday. And I said, fool, you know my birthday is on the 2nd. He said, I know. He said, but I know you have family and everything. He said, so you're August the 3rd for me. So my birthday present from Charles to me today. I love him. I'm going to miss him.
Yeah. My name's Terry. I'm Charles's brother, not friend. Charles called me every day. I'm in North Carolina. I stayed up here for 14 years. I met Charles through my friend up there, Monty. We became brothers. Everything Charles did, I did. I'll go to the family's house. Dad would say, y'all need to get out there and work on my truck. Charles said, I don't know how to work on no truck. I said, I can show you a little bit, Charles. I know a little bit. We worked on the truck, and then later on in life, I got an apartment. Charles come by the house, just bought his Grand Am. Come by the house, knocked on my door. Terry. I said, what, Charles? I said, what, Charles? Take the keys. I said, where I'm going, Charles? He said, you going somewhere? I got something to do. I said, well, Charles, okay, I'll take the car. I took the car, I rode around the block, come back, knocked on my own door. Charles said, you ain't go nowhere? I said, Charles, I did go somewhere. I went around the block. He said, you got to go further around the block. So I left. I stayed gone about 30 minutes, come back, knocked on my door again. Man, you come back too soon. I said, well, Charles, I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to Gaithersburg. I'll be back in 2 hours. He said, well, I'll see you then. So I left, and I come back in 2 hours, knocked on my door again. He said, you can come on in now. He looked at my refrigerator. He said, well, you got a freezer full of food. That's where you can eat what you want.
He loved to eat.
He loved to eat. But he come down to Carolina, and he said, what Dad putting on the grill? My dad was putting a pig on the grill. And we cooked, and he ate, and he ate. He said, Terry,
well, your daddy cook a pig. I said, well, that's what we do, Charles. We love to feed people. So last month, Charles called me. We talked. He was planning to come down to Carolina. I said, well, come on, because you know I got a place. And so happened, I get that phone call too. My brother, we had plans. God knew otherwise. I can't be mad at God, but I question my brother. I thought I'd be gone before he would because I'm battling 2 cancers. But God is still good. He's still good. He's still good. But I talked with Charles about it, and Charles said, well, you know what you got to do, Terry. You just do what you need to do.
That's what he said.
Do what you need to do. But you're going to be okay. So family, I'm telling you, I'm going to miss my brother. I'm going to miss him dearly. Because I missed that phone call. And when I called him, just like everybody would say, EBT, can I help you? I said, Charles, I know you love EBT, but you're retired now. Yeah. He said, but I'm still EBT. I said, okay. But family, y'all, take it easy. And God bless everyone.
I miss my brother every day. I'm on Pee-wee. Charles, neighbor from D Street for over 20 years. He was not only my neighbor, my friend, he was my brother. I took it kind of hard when Chris called me because Charles usually called me around the holiday time and, you know, say, hey, what you guys doing for the holidays and things like that. But I was pumping gas in my truck, and I just so happened to get the voicemail, and Chris had left a message saying that his dad had passed. And I just lost it right there. I stayed at the gas station for about an hour, just, you know, tears and crying and things like that. My stories with Charles is basketball. Growing up on D Street, Charles thought he was the shiznick. But there was this little dude named Pee-wee that lived 2 doors from him, you know, that could ball just as good, and all my brothers could ball. So came on the court one day talking a bunch of smack, and I beat him. Turned around, he took the basketball and bust me upside the back. But this is my brother right here, man, and ever since he knew that I could play ball, he used to come and get me and take me Baltimore, anywhere he went, and to go play other people in basketball, and he used to pay me, and we used to take people's money. Me and Charles used to just be one-on-one, playing other people in basketball. But I'm gonna miss my brother, to the family and to all the friends. Man, this is a wake-up call for everybody. Charles was a blessing to us all. He meant so much to so many of our lives in here. Just look around you, touch everybody in here. He meant a lot to me and my family. My mom raised Chris over there, now look at him. And he's a proud, proud father laying here right now today to his sisters, Miss Brenda, and all the family. May we use his loss as strength for us. And just keep the family together. You guys stay together and love one another. And I'm going to be praying for you guys in spirit. All right?
Come on. Come on over, son, back in here. I've been doing Charles over 45 years. We started off with Gino. He was my teenage friend. My name is Lydia. And all the guys know me. I was out there playing ball with y'all too. Charles made such a difference in my life, and I owe a lot to him. he was there for me whenever I needed him, anytime I needed him. He was there for my parents, my mother. He would pick my mother up from work every day, so she didn't have to ride the metro. He's just a wonderful person, just wonderful person. You know, I stayed in your house all the time, all the time. And we lost a good one. And it's just gonna be a hole in my heart because he just was good. And when you talk about how much he loved cars, and when he bought that 280Z, and I was like, Charles, let me drive it. And he was like, Lydia, you my girl. But I don't think so. But one day one day we were at work, and he got me into UFCW, where I retired, which all because of him. I stayed there 35 years. And one day he just walked in the office and he said, here. And he gave me the keys. He said, don't be gone too long. And I mean, I just knew he loved me because I knew how much he loved his cars. So, but he let me drive that. And, but he brought me into UFCW. I stayed 35 years. I was able to retire. And he's like, come on and work with me. You come in and work with me. And my dad. And bring people into the fold. He was just always, you know, and he helped me along the way. And he was just, I just want to say that he was just a really good person. I love y'all. Come on, Henry.
Hello, everybody. Everyone here loves Charles, and he loves everyone here. To have as much personal time with each and every one of us, this man must have had 50 hours in a day to make all the phone calls, to make all the visits, to make all the complaints, all the arguments. I was like, you know, Charlie would call me up and say, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm working. I said, what are you doing? He said, I'm working. I said, well, can we get back to work? He said, no, I just want to talk. We talked for a few minutes, then he hang up, you know, and people got the essence. He would call me up, curse me out. I call him up, maybe curse him out. We argued, we had a great time. He always had his Colt 45. Always had time for everybody. If you called him and you needed something, he'd be there in moments. Yeah. He had a friend or somebody that could help you, and he expected the same from you. He wants you to love him as much as he loved you. And this room here shows that he had much love for everyone here, and he ain't gone. He just got another extra couple hours to keep calling us, to keep reminding us, to keep working with us to be the people that we need to be. So with that, my good friend, it'll never be goodbye, but they'll see you tomorrow. Thank you.
We can't close out without Gilbert.
How everybody doing? Glad a lot of people came out today. And I met Charles a long time ago. And from the time I met Charles to now, he would reach out to pretty much everybody he knew. He kept in touch with everybody. Charles kept in touch with everybody more than we did, keeping in touch with everybody. He was a real good friend. You know, we looked out for everybody the best he could. If he can help you with something, he would help you. If he couldn't, he'd tell you, I can't get you right now, but you give me a couple of days and I got you covered. When I met Charles, Charles said, we're going to go shoot basketball out of Virginia. So I wasn't driving that. So I said, how are we going to get out? He said, we're going to take the car. So we walked to the car. And the family know the car. And Mom come out the house. And I got out over about a car that I didn't own. Mom lost it. And Charles said, oh, don't worry about her. She always do that. I don't know why she do that. Get on in the car, G. Because they would call me G. And I'm looking at him like, Charles, your mama said, don't pay her no mind. She always do that. I'm going to talk to Dad about it. Now I'm lost. I'm like, you got to talk to your dad about your mother? I was lost. He was like, get in the car. We got in the car. It was a Caprice Classic. And Mom ain't let nobody touch her car. I mean, you couldn't touch that car. But Charles would take it whenever he felt like it. We come back from the basketball court. Mom, me out. Fussed at Charles, but I caught all of it. Because I listened to him and not her. But as long as I know Charles, he used to always look out for me. He used to always tell me good stuff and try to keep me on the right track, like certain jobs. I think, that job might be a little better. You got better benefits here, better this, better that. I met a lot of nice people. And most of y'all sitting here through Charles. So that's my buddy. That's my friend, my brother. Been known him a long time. And I still really
Yeah, anybody from D Street understand.
And I still really, it's kind of hard for me to accept that this day is here. And, I guess I don't want to believe it, but, it's a day for everybody. So, always want to have love for them, have love for the family. And thank all y'all. God bless everybody. Hope everybody stay okay and safe. But I got to go and see the aunt so I can talk to her. I ain't seen her in a long time.
Hello, family. How y'all doing? I'm one of the Curtises, but I'm not a Curtis. That's my dad. My mom gave me his last name, of course. But Dookie, one of my favorite cousins. We moved from D.C. when I was in 5th grade. We moved to Ohio. So I'm 52 this month. My mom left my brother here with my grandma, and me and my sister had to go, of course. But being in Ohio, you would always see Dookie as if D.C. was around the corner. Always. Always, always, always. Whether he called and told you he was coming or he just showed up at the door. But you will always see Chris. And he knew when to come when my mother was cooking. My mother was like a cook, and she would just bake and just cook and go to the store and get your special stuff. He would talk to her all week, knowing what she was doing, but show up without her knowing, or show up with her knowing. But he only had a certain time to stay. It was always a game with him. So one particular time I remember, and I just had to say this because I really didn't want to see Chris because I wanted to cry, but me and Chris wanted to see each other, of course. But as soon as I stepped in the door twice today, the second time it was Chris. So we instantly hugged and embraced each other. But we couldn't cry together because we still need to say, remember that time? Him and his father shows up. I can't finish the story. I couldn't remember it. But what happened is my mom had cooked the whole meal. And Chris, can you tell what had happened?
So, cousin sister, she had made roast beef. It was really good. Me and my dad, we loved it. We tore it up. And
Before dinner, though.
yeah, we was eating it before the dinner was eaten, before everybody else ate. So, in the midst of me going into the kitchen, I knocked the roast on the floor. Cousin, sister, and them had 2 dogs, but Blue was outside and Buck was inside. Buck came inside and started licking the roast beef. We picked the roast up, rinse it off. So,
this. But what happened was, that's when him and Chris wanted to tell us they dropped the rose, rinsed the dog from licking off the rose, rinsed it off, put it back in the juice, and was just looking at us because we kept wondering, y'all was wondering why we kept saying, no, we really want we had their portion, but the next portion we had to figure out what had happened after they told us. But just my cousin here, I would just never, ever, ever get another cousin like that. And to hear everybody say, you know, how much love he had for everyone. His favorite pastime was just show you love. I've never seen him upset. I've never seen him hurt. I've never even known when he was ever sad. I would never know. We just never saw that. Even when he would be mad at Chris or fussing with Chris, he could still turn around and tell you a joke, but go back to fussing at Chris. You know, it was just, that's just how he was. And it's just lovely to hear that part. You know, and I know that this is something that he would want, you know, us to party and enjoy and just remember him. But for one person to show everybody favoritism, that's a wonderful thing. That's a wonderful thing. We usually got just, you know, one favorite. It seemed like everybody was his favorite. Just to hear that. Well, thanks, family.
Okay, we're getting close to time, but my aunt Gladys, who we call Aunt Peachy, is going to come up, and then we're going to close it out with another brother of Charles, which is Ronnie Young, and my other daughter, Tiffany.
This is my nephew, and they call me Aunt Peachy. And Dookie was a stubborn little young child when he was coming up. The only one that could get him to do anything was his dad and everything. But as he got older and everything, I think he wrote his own rules. Because it was his way or no way. Now, if he cared about you, he did the world for you. But if you crossed him, you could forget it. But he used to have this thing, he would call me periodically and everything. And I would text him, you know, different holidays and different things and stuff. He would never text me back, but he would call me. And he said, didn't I tell you don't text me, call me? I said, you can't tell me how the way I want to respond to you. He said, that's what I love about you, Aunt Peachy, because you put people straight. I said, well, I do it in a loving way. If not, then that's on them. But he's a strong-hearted person, and he's done a lot for a lot of the males. And my nephew, Cliff, he stood by my nephew Cliff when my brother died, and he was there for him for a long, long time and everything. And when he loves deeply. So we're going to miss him, and we've lost a treasure in his own way. Thank you.
Christine, there was never a holiday, Mother's Day or whatever. We loved him and called him Dookie Jr. But he would not call. I remember his last call to me. I said, you and Brenda better come on down here. I said, because I'm sure I'll come for the next Thanksgiving dinner. And he said, oh, I'll be there. I said, I'm going to try to have a big thing and have all the family. He said, we'll all be here. He said, you make sure you have a big hall, though, for this family. And I want you to know, nephew, guess what? It's not Thanksgiving, but all your family's here today. Okay? So I just want to say I love him, and the only thing I can leave you all with is his last little joke to me. He called me around just before Christmas a couple of years ago, and he said, I want to buy those dishes that Aunt Jewel bought Grandma for Christmas. And so I said, well, I don't know where they are. So they're probably at Aunt Peanut's house, you know, under the stairwell. So he said, Okay, all I know is I wanted, but Shawnee knew where they were, and so I asked Shawnee to bring them to my house. And Shawnee brought them over to my house, and she said, that's right, because Grandma, every Christmas, she would have dinner and I would come past and she would have the candle lights on the table and have these beautiful Christmas dishes that my niece had gotten her from Macy's, I think. And he said, I want those dishes. Don't you part with those dishes. I said, okay. So I went and got my mother's dishes and brought them over to his, he came over and got them, because I think that's the last time. And he called me every Christmas. I got Grandma's dishes and I'm not letting them go. So that's all I have to say.
I want to say one thing. Charles, me and him, he was my little brother.
That's a long time.
We talked about everything. I want to say, Brenda, he loved you very much and your family. This is the rock right here. All right. I'm just saying, he talked about how you helped him through his retirement. All the fellas in here, we all played ball together. And we all know if Charles got the ball, he's not passing it. Charles, I'm open. He ain't passing it. You ain't getting the bat. But I hear everybody talk about his cars. But the thing about the red Datsun, he contacted me. He said, Ronnie, I got a ticket in North Carolina. Would you come down there and defend me? I said, Charles, I ain't no lawyer. He said, you a cop? You run radar and you train people on radar. I said, how'd you get the ticket? He said, I was coming around the bend and this cop flew off at the ramp and gave me a ticket. So I was running the radar. I said, Charles, it's not possible. So I went down to North Carolina with him. And if any of y'all been to Halifax, North Carolina, it's like going to Mayberry RFD. The judge knew everybody. They got chickens in the courthouse and everything. I said, Charles, what you get me into, man? I'm not a lawyer. They're going to crucify us. So when the officer got on the stand to testify about the ticket, I'm whispering Charles to tell him what to say. And Charles going verbatim what I said. And the officer was wrong. And he said, the judge said, hey, who's that young man sitting beside you, boy? I say, I'm just a friend, Your Honor. I ain't tell I was the police because I wasn't trying to go to jail down there. After he told a couple of offenders, you don't want to get locked up in Halifax County because they like light-skinned men. I said, Charles, we're going to win this. So the judge took over the case because he knew he didn't want this officer to look bad. So he said, what we'll do, you plead guilty, and we'll lower the fines. Charles said, I said, Charles, you gotta plead guilty. And this white lawyer come over, he said, boy, y'all really whipped him. I said, yeah, we got him. He said, just plead guilty, because if you don't, you're gonna up the fine, because you driving a foreign car. You're not an American. And that was the judge's words. You bringing those little foreign cars through my county? I say, Charles, please. So this is one time I can say, my little brother, listen. I say, please, Charles. And they dropped the fine from, I think it was $300 down to like $50. And so we left out of there. I mean, I left in a hurry too. I said, let's go. I said, I want to be down here. Because I'm light skinned, I don't want to go to jail down there. So, you know, we all have great stories about Charles. I'm telling you. I mean, every time he came down, we talked. And you know if he get on the phone, he said, I just want to talk to you for a minute. Well, you know you're on the phone for 2 hours. Every time we talk, I look at It's 3 hours. We on the phone. And we always talk like that. I love him to death. I love this family. All the guys we played ball with. I love y'all too, brothers.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say one thing. He teased me about something. We was on Watkins playing basketball. And I had played a lot of games. And Henry came up. You know, at the time, we younger, we skinny. But Henry was thick and bugged. Charles said, I got something for you. I said, who? Bring him on. I'm going to beat everybody you brought up here. He brought up Henry. I couldn't stop him. He just kept driving me down to the basket and bumping me out. I tried 3 games to try to beat Henry. He got the title. I give it to him. He just whispered in my ear as he walked up, I still got the title. He just did that right there. But Charles would call me and he said, I'm going to put Henry on the phone. We're going to discuss the title. I said, really, Charles? He said, yeah. I said, Charles, you know I played all those games before Henry came up there. I couldn't beat him because he was bigger than me. I couldn't stop from just driving me down to the basket and laying it up. But with all that said, he would, like Wes, he would connect me on the phone with Wes, we talk. Or anybody we haven't seen in a while, we get on the phone and talk. Charles talking trash. It's supposed to be a 5-minute call. We on the phone 3 hours. I love him. He's my little brother. I love this family. We always been together. And we still going to be together. I love everybody in this room. You know, and so does he. So to cherish Charles, to his homecoming, little brother, you brought us all here. We all should stand up and cheer for him.
I wasn't going to say anything, but I would feel bad if I didn't. I did not know Mr. Davis really well, but I am the other mother of Sierra, Chris's fiance. And we have loved Chris from the very beginning, from the moment, even when he and Sierra weren't engaged, when they were dating, I was like, oh, thank you, Lord. This is a good guy. And he would not have been a great guy without his dad. And he always would entertain us with stories of the time he was doing bad stuff. And he was scared to go home because he didn't want his father to find out. So I'm thanking him for bringing Chris into our family. And like I said, I'm Sierra's stepmother, but I love her like she's my own child, and I love her dad. So we love you, Chris. We love your family. They always come to our Christmas parties, and I'm so happy that you had the dad that you did to help make you the man that you are now.
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
My name is May.
Hi, May.
Charles was my man. My son lost his father. He used to come to the heights every day. Him, Uncle Charles, and Uncle Bill. He was always there for him until they left. Charles was a good man, but he come from a very good family. Uncle Charles and baby sis was very good folks. That's all I want to say.
We want to thank everyone. And like I said, Charles brought us all here his way, and he did it his way. So in closing, I want to say, let's keep in touch as best as we can. I don't know, we don't have the 50 hours per day that he had to call everybody, but let's try to keep in touch with each other so that we can still honor him in that way. Oh, come on, sister. Sister here. Hello.
Hi.
This is the person he would go eat all her food up.
I'm the person that Chris dropped to roast. But I have to say this, Charles was a beautiful person. Everybody, you know, have something to say about him, and I just have this to say. Whenever he came to my house, him and Chris and some of his friends, some of Chris's friends, he'd tell them, don't y'all have nothing and don't y'all act a fool in here. I'm gonna tell y'all butt up now. You know, or he said, I'm not gonna do it, she is. I said, just behave. And one time, the boys knocked one of my flowers, I love flowers, and they dropped one of my flowers, broke one of my flower pots off my porch. I came outside to sit down, you know, and talk with Charles, and he said, sister, he said, don't worry about it, I got you, I got you. He said, but Chris broke your flower, Chris and his friend, they was throwing a ball, and they broke your flower pot right there. I said, oh, okay, it's replaceable, I'm not worrying about that. He said, okay, but don't worry about it, I'm gonna take care of it. I said, don't take care of nothing. They make my kids break them too, you know. He said, okay, I understand. He said, but I got you, I got you. I said, I know. And every time he would leave my house, he would call me back while he was on the road. And he said, sister, I said, yes. He said, look in that flower, look in your china cabinet behind that certain jar or in that cup, you know, and I left you something there. What you leave? He said, just when you get a chance to go see, that's all. So I go and look in there and everything, and he done left some money there. Because he said, you know, I come up there and eat and everything, me and Charles and whatever we do. He said, so I got to leave something there. I said, but you don't leave nothing here. You come to eat and enjoy yourself. And when my husband passed a couple of years ago, he was sick. I had talked to him a couple of weeks before that, and he was sick. And when my husband died and we had the funeral, I looked up, there's Charles and Brenda. I was so happy to see them, you know, and that they made it. So thank you very much. Brenda, you know I love you, don't you? Thank you all. Thank you.
We, the family, are inviting you down to the house. Chrissy Point. Oh, Cousin Stan? Cousin Stan?
I'm part of the family, adopted into the family and all that good stuff. But I had two things that Mr. Charles always remind me of. It's like the time that me, Cousin Marv, Jay, we rode up to Pittsburgh, we went in the house. First time we got in the house, first thing he said, I need this refrigerator moved. And every time everybody come around, he introduced me to me, he said, he don't want to move my refrigerator. Yeah. The refrigerator by itself. And the second thing is that we was all out Deep Creek one day, and me and Chris was, you know, had a good time, feeling good, laughing a lot, giggling, and we just couldn't stop laughing. Then his father called. Chris said, I can't answer your phone. I said, why not, cuz? He said, because if he say something, I'm going to laugh at him. So, that's always going to stick in my mind the time we had when we was out. And as always, that's my man, I'm a grand, so I'm there anytime. So I stand here with you.
Like I said, we're inviting the people, everyone down to the house, to continue this, to continue the stories, to continue to be together, to connect, to get each other's contact information, so we don't let this be the last time we honor Charles that way, by keeping those daily, long, 3-hour phone calls going. Thank you, everyone.
To close us out, this is a song, He Got the Whole World in His Hands. It is by, who is it by is unknown. It was a song that was sang by slaves, and it is a traditional African-American spiritual. So, and it was first published in 1927 by Allen Livingston and also Cousin Joe. So if you know it, please join in as we depart.
Thank you.
He got the whole world in his hand. He got the whole wide world in his hand. He got the whole world in his hands. He got the whole world in his hand. He got the little bitty baby in his hand. He got the little bitty baby in his hand. He got the little bitty baby.
I'm good. How are you? Cousin Michelle.